Hello Stitchers, it's Jenny of Jenny Stitches here and welcome back to my channel today. It's lovely to be chatting with you here on a lovely sunny yet crisp and chilly February morning. I hope you're all well. I thought I would just put a quick video together on the things that I have been sewing in January. I'll be honest, I did more sewing than I expected in January and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So I have 4 finished makes to talk to you about today. And yeah, I've got my cup of tea, so we'll get stuck in and have a little look at what I've been working on. So if you've been watching this channel for a while, you'll know that I often say I don't get as much time to sew for myself as I would like. And I've decided that in 2025, I'm really going to try and tackle that. Sewing is as much a part of my job from a promotional aspect as well as a personal enjoyment aspect. So I've decided that I need to really reprioritize that and not get too sucked into the day-to-day running of the business, because that is an endless task. And if I have a sewing shop, I want to be able to take advantage of sewing time. So I feel like I've got off to a really good start in January, and I'm hoping that maybe doing one of these monthly videos to keep me accountable to what I've been working on is going to be a really good way of making sure that I am a little bit more productive. So my first make of the new year was the top that I am wearing. I'm going to put my tea down. Oh, it's lovely and hot, it's perfect. And this is the Ellie and Mac Felicity. Oh, my brain has just gone on what it's actually called. But yeah, I think it's called Felicity by Ellie and Mac. I will link everything that I have used in the comments or the products tab down below so that you've got all the resources that you need. But my brain plays tricks on me when I film these videos and I pull a blank. But yes, this is the Ellie and Mac Felicity top. Now I ended up picking this pattern up actually because I wanted, they do a cubic bag pattern, which I'd seen just before Christmas that they'd released. And you got that pattern for free if you bought any full price pattern. So I'd gone there wanting to buy this little zip up pouch pattern, and I ended up actually just buying this top pattern to get that for free, so that was a double win. But this pattern actually has a lot of style options on it, lots of different combinations of sleeves and necklines and things. I have gone with the fullest sleeve option. This is like the bishop sleeve. You can see that that's running into a cuff there, so quite a nice long deep cuff, and we've got a puff sleeve detail. Move my hair out of the way on the top there, and I've gone with the high scoop neckline. I think there was a low scoop, a mid, and then a crew neck, so I've gone for like the mid neckline on this. I have used my Tiffany viscose jersey, which is back in stock. I love this fabric. I love viscose jersey altogether, and with doing something like a voluminous sleeve, it's just ideal because it's got that soft fluid drape to it. It's not too stiff. So we're getting that shaping, but not too pronounced. Oh, I just nearly fell off the chair. So all in all, mixed feelings about this project, and that might surprise you to hear, but this is actually the first time that I've worn it. And I sewed this up, like I said, in the first week of the year, and I was very excited to get stuck into a new make for the new year. And then I tried it on, and I don't know, something just didn't quite hit right. So I popped it onto my mannequin and left it in the shop for a week or two. And I've tried it back on today because I wanted to wear it for this video. And I do feel better about it now, but I think my issue is that I don't have the right separates to kind of style it with. So I'll stand up and show you that I'm just wearing it with jeans. And it's very fitted through the back. But I'll be honest, I don't know. I think I tried on every pair of jeans in my wardrobe this morning. and none of them were quite right. I think it would look better with a nice pair of trousers or maybe a nice sort of denim skirt, something like that. It's kind of how I'm putting it together that's not really working for me. But that being said, I do think it will get worn. It's very comfortable, and I do really like the sleeve. It feels quite swish, quite put together. So yeah, that's the Felicity puff sleeve top, I'm pretty sure it was called, from Ellie and Mac. So let's have some tea. Oh, and not drop off the chair. Okie doke. The second item that I made this year, or this month as well, is the Bestie bag. So if you haven't seen it around and about, it's been a very viral pattern, has this one. This is the Bestie bag by Blackbird Fabrics. And it is a crossbody sort of sling bag. I keep referring to it as a banana bag because of its shaping, if you can fit that into the shop there. I'd seen loads of these on socials, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to have to give this a go. And I thoroughly enjoyed making it. I've used my plain lavender cotton canvas on the outside. We've got this lovely pastel striped webbing here. And I've gone with antique brass hardware. So we've got a slider there. And I've used one of my two-way zippers. I hope that focuses there, with the antique brass hardware. So I'm just going to take the stuffing out because this has been sat in the shop. It's got pattern tissue in it to sort of bulk it out. And I will show you the inside. So on the inside we have got the jazzy Pima cotton lawn. Now I love how the colours in the lining are then tying through with the colours on the webbing. Really pleased with how they came together, the pinks and the blues and the blacks, just, yeah, all those colours tie really nicely. And on the inside it has a sort of a larger pocket at the back, and then we've got a split pocket on the other side. I'm not sure if I can I can make that obvious. But yeah, it's really cute. I had a lot of fun making it. Bag making projects always are a lot of fun. It's just finding all the relevant bits and pieces to make them up, which is, I guess, where kits come in really, really handy. So I may put together a little kit for this one. If you're interested, please do let me know in the comments. And if you would like this exact style or maybe a couple of variations, we can pop those into a box for you. But yeah, I really enjoyed making it. The only sticking point that I really had was the top stitching. And I'm so glad that I mentioned it on my Instagram story, because I must have had about 20 people get in touch and say how they had also struggled with top stitching on this bag and consequently left it off. The issue being, if you haven't made this pattern up, is that you do reach a point where you need to top stitch around the curve of the main body. You are doing that with the zip installed and through a hole in the lining, and that's kind of tricky enough, but then when you reach this top section here, you've got to go on up for quite some way. I tried it and it looked nice around here, and then when it got into the top, it just, despite my better efforts, it just started to wander. So I just opted to unpick it in the end. I thought, I don't really need that top stitching, and I'd rather not have it at all than have it and it look a total mess. So that would be my only sort of real gripe with the pattern, is I think that top stitching, although nice in principle, it could end up putting you off the pattern. And if you're relatively new or you're not that confident, or you just don't think it's that necessary, I would not hesitate on skipping that out. If I was to make this again, I wouldn't even think about top stitching it. But that being said, very pleased with it. And it's just very cute, and it's very much in my colours. So very happy with that as a make. Let's have a bit more tea, and then we'll have a look at make number 3. Okay, so I'm bringing my mannequin round here. I've actually just gone and taken her out of the shop window. This is Mandy, everybody. Say hello to Mandy. Mandy the mannequin. And Mandy is wearing both my Tilly and the Buttons Drew sweatshirt and the new Tilly and the Buttons CC joggers. I will pop a picture in there of the pattern cover for you. That was the new release from Tilly and the Buttons last week. So as soon as that pattern was released, I thought, I need to make a sample. I'm going to move this chair out of the way so I can show you a little better. Come on, Mandy, back here. I knew I needed to make a sample of these joggers. I'd made the Drew sweatshirt back in November when that came out, and when the sort of coordinating joggers came along, I just had to have it as a set. So I will pop in a picture or two of me wearing it. I know if you follow me on socials, you probably have seen these already. But I really liked like making this pattern up. If you've got a bit of experience with sewing with knits, it'll be a doddle for you. Very sort of quick and simple. I know a little bit of feedback that I've heard from some customers is they kind of said, oh, well, it's just another jogger pattern. What makes it different? I guess it's different in terms of we've got this side paneling detail here, which if you have already made a Drew, does give you the opportunity to tie in the colour blocking. I personally, I have made the Stella joggers from Tilly's Stretch Book. These are a completely different fit. They are much looser through the leg and they're a higher rise. I prefer things to come up higher on my waist in general and keep my tummy in. So these are a much nicer fit for me. And I do really like how, I'm just going to move that up close so you can see how the waistband is top stitched. It gives it almost a kind of retro kind of a look. And I think this draw cord just ties in really nicely. The side pockets are sort of quite concealed within that colour block in there, within that side panel. So I like how they're going. I did get a bit carried away with my bar tack on one of these pockets and it ended up about an inch long. But overall, a really cute, quick little make. I would definitely recommend, even if you've had joggers patterns before. I mean, personally, I just like lots of different patterns of the same style. Obviously with me, there's a definite colour theme going on. I think she looks great wearing the bag as well, so she might have to go back in the window wearing the bag too. The fabric that I have used for my CC joggers and my Drew sweatshirt is my amazing organic soft cotton sweatshirting. I cannot get enough of that fabric. It's just wonderful. And I do have a big shipment of it on the way, which is due to arrive this week, fingers crossed. So if you do want to pre-order some of that fabric, you can do. I will link all of the products onto this video for you. All right, that brings us on to make number 4. And I'm so pleased that I did this because I just love trying something new. So my final make for January was technically completed in February, but the bulk of the work on this pair of sportswear leggings was done on the 31st of January. And I did the finishing off on the 1st of February. So I'm counting it as a January make. Now, the pattern that I have used for these leggings is the Megan Nielsen Virginia leggings. I've had that on the shelf for quite a while, and I've always admired this lovely deep waistband. I work out quite a lot. I have done a lot of running and cycling and all sorts of things in the past, and a lot of heavy weightlifting. So good quality active wear is quite key for me, and there's particular brands that I will always go back to for technical purposes. So safe to say I'm quite fussy with my expectations of active wear. I'm not a fan of the cheap stuff. In particular, I always get really frustrated with the ones that have the sort of mock kind of flat lock seams that just unravel. There's nothing worse than walking around in a pair of leggings and all the threads hanging off it. So this is my sportswear jersey in the galactic print. When this came in, I was like, I've got to make something in these, but I've never sewn with activewear before, so this was a new experience for me. And I've got some really useful takeaways from it. I did a fair bit of experimenting with needles. And the ones that I found worked the best were the Schmetz stretch needles, which I will link to the video for you. Interestingly enough, I tried Prim stretch needles, I got skip stitches, I tried jersey needles, I tried Microtex needles, and even just for control, I tried a universal needle just to see how that performed. All of those skipped stitches, which was a real surprise. In particular, the Prim stretch skipping did surprise me, but the Schmetz ones were immaculate. I mostly overlocked the inside seams, and I think what's going to be most useful is if I turn these inside out to show you what the inside's like. You do not need an overlocker to do this, but it just obviously gives a nice finish. So if you can see, I'll show you my leg seams here. So for the bulk of the longer straightforward seams, I just whipped it up on the overlocker, and I'm very pleased with, this is the seam on the bum. You see that? I can't see visible stitching when I'm pulling on it, so I'm very happy with how that's come out. Nice and strong, nice and sturdy. I attached the waistband and top stitch down the elastic and any visible top stitching using the Gutermann Mariflex stretch thread. And that gave me a really, really lovely result. I'm going to turn these the right way out again and just show you, if I can, the top stitch in there. So I used a 2mm by 2mm zigzag there to get that nice top stitch, and you can see that that just stretches and moves with no issues at all. And where I attached the waistband, I actually just used a straight stitch with the Mariflex, and that made it a lot easier to control. And finally, I did attach a label. Super proud of this because I was. So as I mentioned, I went for the option with the deep waistband because, as with the joggers, I like my tummy to be tucked in and nice and firm. And I also went with the option of adding the 25mm elastic around the top. That does mean that when they lie flat, they're a little bit wibbly, but when they're on the body, it all stretches out and looks really nice and smooth. I won't go and take my trousers off now, but I will insert a couple of pictures of me wearing them because, yeah, really, really happy with them. And it's just such a departure from the usual things that I saw, and it was just so nice to try something different. I'm very motivated to revisit this. I think in the summer, I would like to make some shorts and yeah, some sort of gym shorts, but these are going to be ideal for, we are going for a walk every night at the moment, so I want to be able to get those out and go for our evening walks around the block in them. So that rounds up my makes for January, and I've got to say I'm really, really happy. I think 4 makes was a really good number. That's sort of roughly 1-ish per week. They were all things that I really, really like. There's definitely a bit of a January activewear kind of theme going on, which is fun. But I'm really pleased with how they all tie together. Obviously, I have my style, I have my tastes, and the colours really do sort of mix and match there, which is nice. And that leads me on to what's next. And I would like to put my tea down. I would like to introduce to you my box. And this is my box. So, whoops. So recently I've been working through sort of areas of the shop which have needed a bit of a clear up and a sort out. As we've been decorating up here and doing the renovation work, a lot of things have been pushed into the storeroom at the back, and slowly over time I've been working through that room. There's been a lot of scraps to sort through, and yeah, all sorts of bits and pieces of boring things to sort. But in that process, I have come across a selection of projects which are at various different stages of completion. So you could say that this box contains my whips or my work in progress. So I've been popping them in this box as I've gone along. And my aim now is to get some of them finished off. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, in February, I'm going to sew everything out of the box, because I don't think that's realistic. other things will come along and I'm not putting myself under that amount of pressure. But if I could maybe finish 1 or 2 items out of this box each month across the next few months, I'd be quite happy with that. So I'm going to show you what's inside it very quickly, because some of these things you will have seen before if you've seen a previous sort of what's in my stash video. But there are a couple of nice little previews in here. So I'm going to start with the item that I'm going to actually finish first. And I hate talking about this. If you've been here for a while, you'll remember that last year we did the Cashmerette Stanton hoodie as a purple package kit. And I was busy filming a lovely little sew along with every step of the process involved, and I never finished it. Various reasons why I never finished it, one of which being that I did a huge chunk of putting in the zip, and my camera wasn't on the correct settings, so the footage was just awful, and I ended up not going back to it. And for some unknown reason to me, this project just sort of got shoved to one side, and then I moved on to other things, and I never finished it. And this was my sample for the kit, so that's terrible. But when I pulled it out, I thought, this is typical Jenny. This is like 80% complete, and it's actually lovely. And I'm just going to show it to you. What really grabbed me was, I'm sorry, but how well do they go together? It's hard to show you sort of hung up like that, but the colour of the sweatshirting with this activewear jersey is just, they are made to be together. And that on its own just gave me that real boost of, I need to get this done. So I'm going to show you where it's at, because it's very nearly done. It has cuffs, it has a hood, and yesterday I really got the instructions out and had a good look at what I needed to finish. It does have a zip basted in, but it still needs to be cut down to size. It's hard to get these balloon sleeves. It's got zip facings just attached and doing nothing. But yeah, it's not far off, is it? What is wrong with me? I'd even put lovely silver eyelets in for the draw cord to go in. So looking at the instructions, all I need to do is finish the zipper facings and trim the zip down, and then finish the bottom band, a bit of top stitching. There's a bit of twill tape to put around the neck. The hood is fully lined. It's lovely. So yeah, I'm actually really excited and sort of re-motivated to finish that off. It does need a wash because I have noticed that there's a tea stain on it. So I just don't get any better with keeping. So that is the Stanton hoodie, and that's in my box, firmly in my box. It's a long way down there. So next in the box, oh dear, is the Megan Nielsen Rowan t-shirt. And in fact, I have cut this out as, oh no, there's something else in there. That's a crop top. We'll not talk about that. I don't think I'm ever going to wear that. I think I might have been a bit optimistic when I cut that out. This is the Megan Nielsen Rowan bodysuit, and it's in this lovely dusky pink sort of mini rib jersey, which I'd stocked a few years ago now. I kept a piece for myself. I cut this out last year, and then I just popped it in this pile, and it's just never been sorted out. So ready to sew, ready to go. Probably won't even take me that long. Oddly enough, the colour again, sense of theme. I've never made a bodysuit before, but how hard can it be? So it's got a long sleeve, and it's got like a little mock turtleneck. So that would be a nice addition to my wardrobe. Next in the box, I have definitely shown this on another video, in fact I'll just get the next two out, is a Tilly and the Buttons Clio pinafore, which I did the majority of the sewing for. Oh, what am I like? I despair of myself sometimes. I did do the majority of the sewing for this last sort of September time-ish, I think. Whoops. And it's the longer of the Clio pinafores. And as you can see here, the front is pretty well constructed. We have the pockets pinned on and ready to go. I was using this really nice denim top stitch thread. Is that going to focus in there? Yep. So, yeah, no reason why not. I think I actually put this to one side because I was waiting for the Prim do a lovely set of dungaree clips, and when I've made the Clio in the past, I've used the dungaree clips, and I was waiting for them to come back into stock, and they never have. I don't think they're going to make them anymore, so I need to use something different. I think I might put a button on, but I was doing a nice job of constructing that, and I've just noticed that the overlocking thread that I've been using for that is the same colour as the overlocking thread that I've been using in the Stanton hoodie. So I would imagine this is going to come after the Stanton. And again, it really won't take me long. And finally, in my little box of treasures, we have, oh, those are scraps actually. We have the small noodle head oxbow tote that goes with the large oxbow tote that I made. Again, I'd made the oxbow as a purple package kit, and I made the full size version, but there was enough left over for me to cut the smaller version in reverse colours. So if I just pop these down, it's a bit crumpled because, like I say, they've been in a box for ages. We've got the main body would be in the poppy cotton canvas. And then we've got the accent pocket, which will be in the Aztec cotton canvas. So those two go together really nicely. The lining, oh look, I've cut all the interfacing and everything. I think I cut this all at the same time. As I cut the big ones, I cut the small ones as well, and then just sewed the big one. We've got the navy blue poplin for the lining there, fusible fleece. And finally, I've got the straps, and it looks like I've even gone to the effort of assembling a handle. There's a handle there, and then we've got a nice cross body strap, which I've put together. So again, really not going to take long. I could probably finish that in a day. But yes, if anybody's got any insights onto why my brain behaves the way it does, actually don't let me know. I probably don't want to know. I just move on to the new and shiny, and often I'll come back to these things and think, it really wasn't that bad. And I do it in nearly every aspect of my life, and I drive myself mad with it. But there you go. What I do see as a positive is that is a box full of potential and lots of nice little projects. So I will report back next month. I will show you what I've made in February, and I will let you know on the progress of where we are at with the box. But thank you for joining me today. Let me know what you think of those makes, which was your favourite. Let me know if you'd be interested in a Bestie bag kit, possibly. That could be fun to put together, and I will see you soon. Thank you for watching. Take care, happy sewing, and bye-bye.